So, day 2, and sure enough, my 20th anniversary digivolved into yet another Agumon in less than 24 hours. Much faster than the original Digimon, which is still a Koromon. Yeah, sorry for my lack of excitement over Agumon, but when that's all you could get from the original, it drives you a bit nuts. You practically had to abuse your Digimon to get a Betamon. It was too easy to care for, so it was nothing but Greymons as far as the eye could see for me. Maybe speeding the game up for the 20th anniversary will make it a bit harder and give me better Digimon variety. Cripes, I remember when I bought that pile of $3 Digimons from that KB Toys outlet and raised 5 of them at once, intentionally ignoring them so I could finally get a Betamon, a Meramon. I love Betamon. It is so much cuter than Agumon. Anyway, once your Digimon reaches fighting age on the 20th anniversary one, you can press C to scroll over to another screen and hatch a second egg. Though I needed the instructions for this, basically you need to press A and B simultaneously to say, yes, I want a second Digimon. Then press A to scroll through eggs and B to confirm, and then you get your egg. You can choose from 5 different Digimon version eggs, as well as special eggs, but the special eggs have linear evolution lines, so you can only get most of them by battling with 5 different 20th anniversary Digimon with different tamer names, so yeah. I hear Target was selling these things for $5 for a bit. Bah, whatever. Version 5 because that's the Godzilla ones. Yeah, for some reason, almost the entire evolution tree of version 5 is based on Godzilla monsters. I'm sure there's a story behind that. Either way, mine evolved into a Pagumon while I was dumping video files, and yeah, this is too adorable. Pressing C lets you switch between looking at each individual Digimon or both simultaneously, and that's just great. This also alters your actions, like you can actually feed both at once or train both at once. And would you look at that, it's the old shadow boxing high-low minigame. But now with 2 Digimons. If you only have one selected, you do the meter build wall break one. If you have both selected, they train together. I wonder if the defending Digimon gets anything when you lose as the attacker. After looking into it, no. Now that I have an Agumon, I can challenge computer opponents. And what's this? I have to mash to fill a meter now? Agumon fires both fireballs and claws? We have life bars? We have dodging? For those who don't know, in normal Digimon, they just exchange fireballs at each other's faces until one throws a double and wins. So yeah, this is a massive step up, which was likely necessary. Apparently, competitive OG Digimon devolved into just getting your Mozaimon equivalent, whoever throws hearts, and pumping them full of the right number of vitamins, and that's just a coin toss, 50-50 chance of winning. So they immediately created the pendulums and tried to add something more to the combat to add a degree of player skill and depth. Also, apparently fighting the pendulums against the OG Digimon, they count as Mozaimons across the board. Wacky. I will say, with the higher speed 2 Digimons and multiple training options and solo battling, the 20th anniversary Digimon is a significant improvement over the original and feels like a much more active virtual pet experience. Also, apparently you can save copies of your friend's Digimon to your device for tag matches? Maybe sparring against these other Cripes. I am trying to resist the urge to go out and buy a second one now. If they had the Lunamon one, transparent purple, transparent yellow, or neon red, I would. Although the Maycrackmon one is kinda tempting. And they do have that at my local GameStop. Okay, I caved. And on the way to GameStop, my second 20th anniversary Digimon digivolved into Gazimon, so now I have 2 fighting age Digimon on my 20th and was able to try a tag battle, which I probably should have prepared better for, but we won. Decided to actually use the reset function on my second 20th anniversary one to see if I could select my starting egg, and no dice. Gotta have another Agumon, I guess. Ah well, we'll make our second one a Maycrack line, and once again my Digimon takes a dump, digivolves into Koromon, and goes to bed. Unlike with the original Digimon, though, you can actually wake them up, clean the poop, and then put them back to bed. Thank you. Seems my OG Digimon went to bed at 7 p.m., my 20th went to bed at 9 p.m., and my Gazimon is still up. So they do go to bed at different hours. As a night owl, I'm not opposed to this, but I'm suddenly endeared to Gazimon because of it. Also, since this is the Godzilla set, y'all think Gazimon might be King Caesar? Oh lord, I'm gonna be raising 5 Digimon at once. That's without the Digimon X in version Wonderswan. It's a regular Digimon farm down here. I'm a regular Digimonster rancher over here. And Gazimon finally went to bed at 11 p.m. That was surprising. So, day 3, and I believe I have made a mistake, considering my new Digimon became a Betamon. I'm happy about this because Betamon is awesome, but you gotta fuck up a lot to get Betamon. Wanted to hatch my second one as a Meikumon, but it turns out that you need to link up with 5 other Digimon 20s to unlock that, so yeah, just give me a Biomon Palmon egg then. And I decided to battle my new Betamon a little bit too quickly against the big boys, and he got double injured. Woof. Well, at least he won't be a Greymon. So yeah, this whole raising 2 Digimons at once on a single screen thing is fantastic. Not only is it fun to have 2 Digimon on screen at once, but you can feed and train them individually at the same time. And yes, while no one gets training from losing, if you win at team training, it counts for both Digimon. Very neat. Couple this with higher growth and speed of the 20th anniversary Digimon, and this is pretty much what Digimon should have been from the start. This is so much better, as you can tell by the fact that my OG Digimon is still a Koromon after 3 days. That said, raising 2 20th anniversaries at once is a bit much. Egad, these Digimon like to poop a lot. Much like my dogs. The simulation is now accurate. So here's the thing, the original 1997 Digimon, as we're seeing, is way too slow and easy. I mean, whose bright idea was it to make the battling virtual pet unable to battle until multiple days after you start it? Also, I always hated that second form in both Digimon and Tamagotchi because your pet evolves into it so fast and then they just stay there for days. There's like no variance. Like, there should have been an evolution branch right at the start, because when are you gonna be most invested in your virtual pet? Right at the start, when it's new. So having an early bit of intense care makes sense, and having it branch based on that would have been amazing. But it doesn't matter now, because 20th anniversary news, your Digimon is fighting age either by the end of the day or by the next day. OG Koromon hit the hay at 7 PM sharp once again, still not an Agumon. The new egg turned into a Biomon before the end of the day, as expected, and went to bed at 9 PM, 10 PM for Betamon, and 11 PM for Gazumon. Thankfully, you can wake up or put your Digimon to bed at any time on the 20th anniversary unit, so that should alleviate any problems caused by their bizarre sleep schedule, like their knack for taking a huge dump before bed. Relatable, but frustrating, because you can't clean up poop if your Digimon is asleep, but now you can wake up, clean, put him back to bed. Still very happy about that. Now that I have a Betamon, though, I've started to put it through some intense training, since I know it's at a disadvantage. This will likely cause it to become a Devimon, but whatever. Sure enough, I was able to battle and win against the other unit in a tag battle, and at the same time, didn't injure them. Cripes. I'm so glad the new units have a versus CPU option. I forgot that it is possible to mortally wound your Digimon in versus play, which is a problem because, yeah, you can't evolve your Greymon into Metal Greymon or any of that kind of form without having at least 15 battles and a high win rate. As the only other Digimon owner I knew was my sister, yeah, that's a problem. Cripes, I don't remember exactly, but I think one of us murdered the other's Digimon, which means starting over, meaning our Digimon ages were out of sync. Gah! So many tiny annoying issues with the original Digimon. And yes, transferred a copy of my Betamon to my other unit. Apparently the copy function can be used for the fusion evolution, you know, Jogressing or DNA Digivolution, or, oh geez, what does this instruction book call it? Digifuse. Apparently, for certain evolutions, you can fuse Digimon copied from others, but you lose the copy when you do. Oh, and unlike the original, it looks like when your Digimon does die, it can reincarnate into an egg and gain a stat bonus. Also, I hear that these have actual internal saves, so when the battery runs out, it still stores your data. You know what's weird? We live in a world where we can store multiple gigs of data on tiny cards sold for only $20, and yet I'm still playing Digimon on a tiny black and white LCD screen. I see Tamagotchi got all fancy, and thus far very little fancy Digimons. Well, except for that vitality bracelet, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So all in all, another eventful day of Digimon raising. Good times, catch you next time.